Good evening, everyone. My name is Dale Parrish. I'm the State Director for Convention of States here in Indiana. I want to welcome you to our broadcast tonight, COS Indiana Live. Got a great broadcast lined up for you this evening. I want to immediately bring on our co-host, Ken Kashuba. Let me bring Ken up there. Hi, Ken.
Hello, Dale.
And Ken is our state communications coordinator, and starting just very recently. Matter of fact, I think this is only the second live broadcast that you've been on, isn't it?
Second one. Yep.
Yep. So Ken's and he's doing a great job. So I'm gonna let him, keep coming back. But no, Ken's doing a great job, and I think the two of us together as a team, I think we'll be able to do a great broadcast for you. Now, I just want to mention here before we get started that much of the information that we're going to present to you on the broadcast is available on our state newsletter, which Ken is very much involved in producing that newsletter. And of course, also the information's on our national website, conventionofstates.com. So both of those are great resources. If you're a supporter of Convention of States, which we hope that you will become a supporter. If you are not, you'll get that newsletter via email, but it's also available on our Facebook page and on our national website, once again, as well as then the national website being a source of information. So just want to make that known to everyone. And we want to very, very much stress that we want you to make comments. We want you to ask questions, viewer comments and viewer questions. So regardless of whether you're on watching us via Facebook or YouTube, we're live streaming also to our YouTube channel, Indiana Patriots for COS. So regardless of which source you are utilizing tonight, feel free to make a comment or ask a question. And Ken, you're going to kind of monitor those, right?
We're keeping an eye on them. We've already had one of our favorite leaders from the North Country, as he puts it, Dale Tipton, has checked in already. So we're expecting some comments. Yep.
Well, good for him. I was had breakfast with Dale last Saturday. Went up to Griffith, Indiana. Do you know where Griffith, Indiana is, Ken?
I do know where Griffith is.
Do you?
Yeah, I used to travel the state in my previous career. So
yeah, that's right. You did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I went up there for their regional breakfast meeting last Saturday, and of course Dale was there, and about 5 district captains or so. So had a nice breakfast and enjoyed meeting and talk. Many of those I knew the names, but I hadn't had an opportunity to actually meet them. So that was a good time. And hope to be doing more of that as now that we're getting out and doing more in-person type meetings.
Getting out from behind the cameras. Yeah, the in-person meetings are much to look forward to.
That's right. Well, let's briefly just touch on the segments that we're going to be involved in tonight. And our first segment, it'll be the interview segment. And we try to have someone from leadership involved in these interviews. Now, tonight, Ken and I interviewed our new past states regional director, Brenda Carlin, a few days ago. I think that was it was last week, last Thursday, I think it was, wasn't it, Ken?
Yep,
can't
Thursday.
remember for sure.
Thursday, yeah.
And we recorded the interview. Brenda was involved in a family matter, and so we actually interviewed her in her car. Her and her husband were traveling, and she's wearing her sunglasses, looking real cool and everything. But so we recorded the interview. We'll be playing that in the first segment. Second segment, we've got another one of our contributors, and this one's from one of our district captains, Dr. Dan Stock. His contribution, his segment is called "What's Up, Doc?" So we got that coming up in the contributor segment, and then in the final segment, the invitation segment. This is where we got a good video to play for you, and then we'll show you how to join Convention of States and get involved. So, and we'll let you know what's coming up on our next broadcast in this invitation segment. So, without any further ado, Ken, we'll get into the interview segment. Any comments or questions that you think we need to be entertaining at this point in time?
No, other than the fact that you stepped out on a limb there and took the real what they call a real technical challenge by interviewing somebody while they're moving in their car.
Oh yeah,
that was
yeah.
you never know what's going to happen. So kudos to the way that went off, and we look forward.
It is. They were in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area, and kind of figured, being a major metropolitan area, that there would be a good connection in that area, and it turned out to be a good one. So let me get going on the interview here, and we'll come right back and be back with everyone very shortly. Okay, I think, Ken, I'm going to remove both of us here and then play the video. Well, hello, everyone. This is Dale Parrish, State Director for Convention of States. Welcome to COS Indiana Live. And my co-host, Ken Kashuba, is with me today.
Good morning.
We've been trying to get this young lady on our broadcast for some time. And so what we've decided to do is just record an interview with Brenda. We've got her. We understand she's in the Tulsa area today, attending a family event. So she has graciously agreed to give us some time today. So that's what we're going to do. And so we're going to record this, and let's hope that the connection remains strong. It was prior to us starting this recording. So let's hope that it stays strong here. So let me bring Brenda on and introduce you to her to you, and you'll find out who she is and what she does here very shortly. So let me bring her on. Hi, Brenda.
Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning, Dale. Good morning, Ken. Thank you very much for having me on this morning.
Well, you're so welcome. We're so glad that you were able to give us some time here, and let's hope the connection sticks with us here. So, Brenda is Brenda Carlin and I want to let you know Brenda's new title now is Regional Director, Past States. How long have you been in this position now, Brenda?
Since May.
Since May.
Not too long. Was that 6 months? Yes.
Well, like I said, we've been trying to get you on the broadcast, and I know you've been very, very busy. So I'm glad you were able to give us some time today. So Brenda is the new Regional Director of Past States. We have 2 of those now. So Brenda, tell us, first of all, hopefully we have a lot of viewers this evening that are not familiar with Convention of States. So tell us, what is meant by a past state?
Dale, thank you for the question. With Convention of States, a past state means that our resolution has gone through the state's legislature and passed in both the House and the Senate. And so we have 15 state legislatures that has happened. And so we have 15 past states, and that's what we mean by past states. Those states that have passed our Convention of States resolution in the state legislature.
Okay. And for those new to convention of states, Indiana is one of the 15 states. We were number 6, as a matter of fact. So yes, Indiana is one of these states that is considered, or that we consider a past state. Tell us now, I mentioned, Brenda, that we have 2 individuals in your position. Jonathan Viard is the other director, past states. So what states are in your region?
Thanks for the question again, Dale. Yeah, Jonathan Viad and I have responsibilities. We work together with all 15 states, but we're primarily accountable for 8 states with Jonathan and 7 states with myself. The states that I'm responsible for are Alaska, Florida, North Dakota, Indiana, Louisiana, Missouri. Did I name 7 there?
6. 6 and counting.
And Arizona. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Arizona. Okay. Well, they're not necessarily clustered together, are they, geographically?
No.
And
as you can see right now, I'm not in my usual location when I'm at home. We're traveling on the road, so I apologize for the sunglasses, but that's kind of my lifestyle. I'm all over the country, so it's pretty familiar to be working with states that are all over the country.
And I know for a fact that you've been to Alaska, right? You've actually attended some events there already. So
yes, I had the opportunity to go to. My husband and I went to Alaska earlier. We've been to Alaska before, but yes, I got to spend a little bit of time with the Alaska team and State Director Keith Heim up there. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, I bet. Well, that's great. That's great. Well, tell us then what we know the states that you're responsible for, the past states. So tell us what are the general responsibilities of a past states regional director?
Well, the primary responsibility, Dale, is to support the states and the state teams. So I'm here to support Indiana and all of our 15 past states in working towards achieving our mission of growing the largest self-governing grassroots army. So that's my primary responsibility, is to support the team and help our grassroots volunteers move us closer to our mission.
Okay. Well, supporting the states, the past states, or supporting each state, that takes in a lot of things. I know. I just want to mention that Brenda attended our strategy meeting, our 2022 strategy meeting here in Indiana, that we had in September. And I guess Brenda, maybe you could comment on this. I'm sure you have found the states that you're responsible for, that each state is kind of at a different point with regard to its organization, its activities. Am I correct in saying that there's different levels of each state? I don't. Do you know what I'm getting at? That's
Yes.
why that. Yeah.
Yes, we have state teams that are pretty well established and organized. Indiana, for example, great organization and established leadership, kind of like a football team, or a basketball team. You have people move in and out of the team, but yet because of your leadership, you're able to keep the performance going. And we have some states that are transitioning in leadership, and transitioning meaning we have leaderships that move in and out of their roles, and we work with them at starting at the level that they're working at, from where the point they're at, whether it be training or leadership development. So we've got the full spectrum in our states, but each unique, each having their own personalities, but all of us working towards the same goal.
Okay, yeah. I never thought about that, but it is very, very true that each state kind of. I think your analogy of a football team or basketball team. I think that's a good analogy. How team members change, the talent level changes. Certainly our requirements and our objectives change year to year here in our state, and I think we've got a pretty stable organization at this point in time. So, Ken, I know, Ken, you said you had a question that you wanted to.
Yeah, and it kind of falls in line right there with what Brenda was saying. I know that as she described her position there and working with that many different states and all at different stages. Brenda, what would you consider that to be your biggest challenge? I know you've only been in this for 6 months, but what would you say one of your biggest challenges is in the position you're holding right now?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is that I want to be able to respond to every team's request for support. And so the challenge is having enough sleep to be able to do that. Because with all the different time zones, I want to be able to respond as soon as our volunteers need some help. And so, quite honestly, that's really what it is. I want to be able to respond. And sometimes, like we're traveling on the road right now, it can be a little bit challenging, but I still manage to do it, and I enjoy doing it, working with the teams. So that's one of my biggest challenges.
Sounds like you almost sleep with a red phone next to your bed there.
It's not red, it's blue. Okay. But I can't. Yes, you get the idea. I like to think that I'm available 24/7 anymore. That's kind of the way our society operates. I may not be able to get back to you immediately because I might be asleep in the middle of the night, but I will reach out to you as soon as I can. So your priority is my priority. And that's what I'm here for, is to help the state teams. And also, I forgot to mention, to kind of interface and support, work with our national team, to interface with the state teams and the national team as well.
Yeah, I think that's a very important responsibility. And I will say, Brenda, I'm very impressed that you do respond very quickly. So you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job.
Thank you, Dale.
So that kind of leads me into the final question, and that's specific objectives that you've set for 2022. I think you've kind of touched on some of those right now, but did we miss any? Do you have any specific ones that you want to share with us?
Well, of course, we have our mission, and that stays the same in terms of we're working to grow the largest self-governing grassroots army. One of our goals is to hold the Convention of States under Article 5, but a lot of the goals are driven how we get there by the states. So like you mentioned, you just recently had your state strategy meeting in Indiana, and you and the team established goals that are in alignment with what we're trying to accomplish from a national perspective, but it's really driven by the states. So we're focusing on, of course, growing our grassroots with our district captains. We'd like to have a district captain ultimately in every district. In Indiana, of course, you're working on developing your regional captains, because your regional captains are a huge support And to support that, one of the goals is our district captain activity percentage. And to achieve the district captain activity percentage is we would like our district captains to be, and our regional captains to be contacting each other, at least a minimum of once a week, going into our systems, welcoming new petition signers, because in addition to having our goals, we are about relationships, right? Relationships with our legislators, relationships with each other, because we care about each other and because that's what it means to be self-governing. We care and we participate and we engage. So the goals that I have, which are shared by the states, is to work towards achieving our mission by growing our grassroots, our district captains, our number of district captains, continuing to welcome in new volunteers and petition signers, through our events, and to build those relationships that will keep us strong and free in our liberty over the long term and for future generations. If that is a broad idea of what we're shooting for, it's the vision. And then of course we get into specific goals at each state level. The state teams determine them, and they're based on our servant leadership model and our SMART goals.
Very good. Very good. Well, you got a big job ahead of you there. So we look forward to here in Indiana. We look forward to working with you further, and I think we've got some great objectives set for our state for 2022, and I think it's going to be an exciting time. I believe with all the things going on in our country, I think Convention of States as the solution as big as the problem is becoming more and more, I think, evident, and so I think it's going to be an exciting time. So, Ken, have you got anything else you wanted to bounce off of Brenda?
Once again, just to thank Brenda for the job she's doing. It's a big responsibility, and I mean, we're glad to be able to help you as well and things that you want to see done in the states. So we're just glad that you have the energy and you're getting at least enough sleep right now to get it carried out. But we do appreciate that, and we hope you have safe travels there.
Well, thank you so much. And if I could just add that the Indiana team is doing a great job, and with respect to all of our past states, keeping focused on our mission is what we're all about. And as long as all of our activities are focused on that, we will ultimately reach our goal. And so thank you. I want to thank everyone in the Indiana team. I want to thank those that are listening that aren't part of the Indiana team yet. But if you'd like to get involved, to go to conventionofstates.com and choose the Take Action tab and be part of the Indiana team. We'd love to work with you. Thanks so much, Dale. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Brenda. Thanks,
Brenda.
Well, Ken, I enjoyed that interview with Brenda. I thought she did a really great job.
She sure did.
Yeah, it went very well. Any comments or anything that we need to look at now?
No, we had a couple more of the northern area team members check in. Susan Lyon just checking in from Region 2 said hi, and Jerry Rowe from the Northwest Central Country, as he called it, said hello and is checking in.
All right, good. Okay, well, let's move on to the next segment. That interview went a little longer than we had planned on. So I want to do this next segment anyway, the contributor segment, and we have the contribution from our own Dr. Dan Stock. So let me go ahead and play that for us, and we'll be right back.
I'm Dan Stock with a few thoughts about fact-checking and misinformation. There's been a lot of talk about protecting everybody from misinformation going on a lot. A lot of fact-checkers being paid a lot of money to determine whether or not somebody's saying the truth or not. Of course, the problem is the truth is depending on what all facts you listen to, isn't it? A lot of people who think that the solution to misinformation is actually censorship. That was a favorite thought of many people through history, most notably Joseph Goebbels, the minister of propaganda for the Nazis, who said that truth was the enemy of government. Guess that depends on what you think government's going to do. As a guy who's been fact-checked a lot, but never debated by any of the fact-checkers, I'd suggest that there's a better way to determine the truth of a matter than having somebody do censorship. In censorship, you can actually filter out the facts you don't want people to consider and make sure they don't get the facts that you don't want them to consider. But when two people debate, especially if they debate in a civil and calm manner, everybody gets to present all of the facts and point out the errors and the weaknesses of everybody's arguments so the audience can actually think for themselves and decide for themselves. So next time you hear somebody trumpeting the idea of censorship and fact-checking, maybe you should recognize that what they're trying to do is to keep you from deciding for yourself. And maybe you should invite them to a good debate. Would have loved that if we'd had a good debate somewhere on COVID-19 or even how to run a healthcare system. But it doesn't seem the fact checkers have much interest in that. And maybe that tells you something about the fact checking. I'm Dan Stock for the Convention of States.
Boy, Dr. Dan always has a good opinion on things, doesn't he?
Always good to hear from Dr. Dan. Yeah, always good to hear from Dr. Dan.
I'll tell you.
We got one other comment here I wanted to throw out. This is a gentleman named Michael Paisley saying, "Hello, fellow patriots." So I thought I'd do a shout out to Michael. I'm not sure where he's located or whether this is for his first time listening or anything, but
no, I
hello,
recognize that name. He's been on before.
Okay.
But I can't recall. So Michael, if you're still there, let us know where you're from. He might throw that in real quick. Well, Ken, let's move on into the final segment here, the invitation segment. I'm gonna, to save some time here, I'm gonna skip the video. We've played that before. I do want to go to our website and show people how this is the invitation segment, folks. This is where we're asking you, if you're not a supporter of Convention of States here in Indiana, this is where we want to ask you to join Convention of States, and we're going to show you how to go about doing that. So what you do is you go to our national website, conventionofstates.com, and this is what you're going to see. This is the first thing you're going to see. So the first step is for you to become a supporter. And in order to do that, then you need to give us your information. Enter your name and your address. Your address is very, very important so that you get put in the proper district here in Indiana. So give us your information, your contact information, street address, sign the petition, and that will automatically make you a supporter in Convention of States here in Indiana. Now, hopefully, maybe you've got some more time that you would like to commit, that you would like to go beyond being a supporter and perhaps a volunteer. So let me call your attention to this menu selection at the very top called Take Action. You click on it, and that will take you to another page, Take Action page. You see a picture of Mark Meckler there. And I would suggest you click on this tab, Become a Leader, and that will take you down and show you the various positions, volunteer positions that we have available here in the state. So take a look at one, read about it, if you're very interested in it, open it up. Go ahead and make application. You're not obligated in any way. But when you do that, then one of us will be able to contact you and talk to you more about the position that you're interested in. So you can be one of these positions. I think there's also over here on the volunteer side, there's various positions as a volunteer that you might want to look at. I know, Ken, this is one, you're social media warrior. That's a position that you're really looking for, right?
Yeah, all the social media warriors that we can get. I mean, it's a very important position because that's how we reach people who've never heard of Convention States or Article 5, and it's through people like that become social media warriors that help spread the word.
Yep. Okay. So, folks, that's how you join Convention of States. And if you have the time and the desire to go further, this is how you can volunteer and to take on a leadership role. Keep in mind now, these different positions have different time requirements. You're the only one that knows how much time that you have to commit to these. So be sure when you're reading about the position, be sure that you take a look at the estimated time commitment, because that's I know that's very, very important. Obviously, we all have private lives, and we have to be concerned about the time that we dedicate to different activities. Just a word here on our next broadcast, which is coming up a week from tonight, December 13th. We got Debbie Stewart coming on, our super volunteer Debbie Stewart, to give us a civics lesson. So that's we'll have Debbie coming on in segment 1 of that evening's broadcast. So, Ken, you got anything else before we wrap it up here?
Not really, Dale. It's we're in that month of December, so it's one of those where people are pretty busy, and we all are trying to adjust back to normal the best we can be. But we do hope that people will keep an eye and an ear out for our upcoming broadcasts. And I know we've got a lot planned coming up, and we can use all the viewership and help we can get.
There you go. That's right. And we just want to leave you with this thought. Convention of States, holding a Convention of States according to Article 5 of the Constitution has never been done before. And we're going to make this happen. We need to get to 34 states to make it happen. 34 states have to pass a resolution. 15 have already passed it. Indiana is one of those states. So just keep in mind, when this happens, we're going to make history, and it's never been done before. So we'd love to have you come with us on this journey and join the family here in Indiana, Convention of States, Indiana, and help us make history. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Ken, thank you for joining tonight.
Thank you, Dale. We do live in interesting times, and I agree with you. We live in interesting times, and we're on the right side. So it's we're going to be on the right side. You might as well join us in history and be on the right side of this.
There you go. All right. Thank you very much, and good night, everyone. See you next week.
Night.